Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Corinth. Today, we're talking technology and our access to it via the website. So with us today, we'll start here, Garrett Strayhart. He is our GIS manager for the City of Corinth, and we will go into detail about what that means in a minute. And then we have Shay Rogers, who is the king of all things technology here at our wonderful city. So guys, we had an excellent meeting last night as part of our workshop session where Technology Services, among others, gave us an update on where your department's at as opposed to our strategic plan. And there is something that was very cool that was brought up because not only does it help to support our overall technology goals with the City of Corinth, but our open government, transparency, and communication, and our residents' access to some really cool information. So who wants to give us the overview of what we learned last night?
Sure, I'll take that. Thank you for the very nice introduction there. I didn't realize that I was quite so regal.
Did I say king of all things technology?
Yes, that was. I remember distinctly.
Yes, that's what I said.
Monday morning's going to be very. I was like, welcome.
So Shay, what's the data hub?
So last night we talked about the new data hub that we're putting out. So we wanted for a long time to have just a central repository of all data points that we have. So a lot of organizations are kind of going through this, some growing pains where they have all sorts of disparate data from systems, from data collectors, all scattered to the wind. So what we want to do is take all of those data points and put them into a consumable onto a single website. So a resident can hop on a website and see, well, it started out as mapping things. When's my trash pickup day, or what voter precinct am I in? But we also want to expand that out where we have other data. So anything that's quantifiable and we have stored in a system here, we can display that data on our open data portal. It could be things like, what's the average response time for our fire department? How long does it take our planning department to process a permit? Those sorts of things. So we want to get all that data in and just have it on a single website that we can direct people to look at that information.
So, question. I love data. And I'm very good with spreadsheets and moving my way through that kind of data. When I hear you say data, I'm thinking spreadsheets. But my guess is this is not what we're going to see on the website. This is an interactive, easy to follow, easy to find.
The nice thing for you, Scott, is it will actually be both. So primarily will be something that's reduced down for easy consumption, but we'll also have raw data available for download for the data nerds as yourself.
I am a data nerd.
There you go.
So not only will I be able to get to see some cool maps and that kind of stuff, I can hit the export button. I can get comfy with my spreadsheets and just go to town.
Exactly.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So, Garrett, you want to enlighten us on some of your favorite parts of the Data Hub?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Shay did a great intro for that, and that was exactly it. It basically, this is just, it's highly configurable, which is the best part of the Data Hub. We can actually shoot out very focused web mapping apps. And so as we scroll through here, I think I'll highlight a couple of our more exciting apps. As you see, we have our normal public viewer, so you can find out your zoning, your voter precincts, your trash days, pretty much just a comprehensive map of information that the public can typically tries to come to our mapping to find. But then we have more focused applications. So let's say there is a development happening somewhat near your house, and you're like, what are they doing over there? What's going on? Well, I've been working very closely with the planning department, and we have a Corinth Developments Dashboard that you can click on, you can open. It'll then allow you to get a lot of information on what is happening at that job site and how far we are through the process. So it's not only developments that are under construction, but what's coming very soon. So as you can see, if it's P&Z approved, under review, under construction, we can click on these, and then we zoom in. We have not only the location of what's going on, but we have a lot of information. What's the how many lots are in this department? What's its zone? And again, if the time to update this is very quick. Say there's something that we want to add, something we want to link to. We can pump out this information very quickly and change it at the drop of a hat. So it's something, and our main goal for this is to make it like very focused.
Right.
Very focused. So another example is with the upcoming broadband project. We want to pump out apps that have, say, well, when is broadband coming to my area? Where are they working this week? What's going on? We can pump out that type of information. So then when somebody comes and asks you like, hey, what's going on with broadband? What are they doing this week? You can just say cityofcorinth.com/datahub. Go there, look for the app, and they'll be able to navigate themselves, take a look at what's going on at that moment. And I think some of the more exciting parts of this is it's also the community can have some feedback in that. Like, I'd like to see this type of app. Because if you start to, like, KCB was a great example of it.
Keep Corinth beautiful.
Keep Corinth beautiful. We were pumping out PDF maps, and you have to
Sure.
upload those. You have to, it's a little bit more of a process to get those updated. Well, what streets are available to be adopted? What do we already have adopted? We put out an app for that. So you can see every park that is available for adoption. And then I was like, I want to know more information about this. Like, just click on it, check it out. If it's adopted, we have their contact information.
Wonderful.
We'll have their contact name, the organization that's adopting it. So very focused applications for the community. So that's really what we're focusing on. It's very exciting. It's.
So I do have a couple questions.
Please ask.
Let's take a look at this.
Okay.
So Keep Corinth Beautiful had requested that this information be put on the Data Hub, and it's on the Data Hub.
Just there.
So now I'm a resident or a council member, and I'm playing around on the Data Hub, and I'm like, it would be really nice if we had this information. What you're telling me is if the City of Corinth has data on it, that app or that link can be put on the Data Hub within days?
Oh, yeah. And it depends on the amount of data that we already have or have to collect. And you're right. If we already have the data,
Sure.
and it's just a matter of consuming it, pumping out a service, creating a web map, the turnover time is very quick.
Right.
Very, very quick. So if it's something that you want and we need us to work on, we can definitely make that happen.
So let's go back to that development portion that you were just on, Garrett. Because this is one that is actually going to be quite useful for city leadership. So what we find is that developers, before the city even knows, will go knock on doors and to get a sense of what the neighbors think about a certain project, right? And then it kind of starts a little bit of a stir, and then they come to me and they're like, why are you going to put this in this area? And I have no clue. Like, I've never heard of such a thing. Now we can go here, and if there is not something here that shows where it's at in the process, a plan's been submitted, it's going to P&Z on this date, then there is nothing official that's happening in the city, and this can be our end-all, be-all to what's going on.
Exactly. Because one of the most exciting parts about this that I really enjoy is we're giving some of the power to the planning department. So
Sure.
they are actually able to go in and update each one. So, when these change or when it becomes available, they're able to actually go in and do this themselves
Right.
too, and create. So we create the apps and they're able to keep it up to date. So when this launches, because right now we're in the beta phase of it. So I think we should have it up July sometime in July where it's more available for
That's a
consumers.
month from now.
I know.
From the time of this filming.
That's right.
That's a month.
I know.
Well, we're going to start pumping a lot of data into this, and we're going to try to get it up to date. And that's the thing. We want to keep it up to date. So you're right. Like we want you to be able to have the confidence when a council member says, hey, go see what's under review, go see what's under construction, go see what's going through P&Z. They're able to go to this site and get accurate information for
So what I see, especially when we go back and look at our strategic planning, and not only is communication and open government important, but the speed at which the information can be had. So currently, let's use this as an example. Somebody would email or call and say, hey, at this address, I see, or somebody has knocked on my door and asked a question, what's going on here? So with our governance practices, I then email the city manager then emails a department head. The department head then goes and checks with feet on the ground. Everybody says, nobody's submitted anything. We've heard of nothing. That information goes on back up the line, and 2 or 3 days later, I have an answer. A lot can change in 2 to 3 days, right? Mm-hmm. So now, as soon as planning knows the information's updated on the website, that means after this is implemented, a resident can have information faster than even submitting an email or making a phone call.
And you can also, like, say they come and approach you, and you're like, oh, I'm hurt. You can open this up as well. Take a look at it.
I plan on living
on
this data hub.
And I think that is something that's neat. Like we obviously are making this available to the public for their consumption, but it's also for, like you said, city leadership, where we could use this data ourselves to convey internally what's happening. So we're all on kind of the same page.
And to go further with that, this is a public site, but these web apps, we're also creating internal web apps for our information to help out different departments communicate with each other. So, if it comes to council where you're like, man, we want something that kind of helps organize ourselves, we can do that for you as well.
So what you're telling me is the built-in item that makes sure that this thing is working is staff is going to be using this portal just as much as anybody else is.
Yes, because it's not all on the GIS department because, we're off doing our own things. And that was part that was so exciting about this because, you even talk about KCB and we talk about, so they come in and say a road gets adopted. Mm-hmm. Well, we kind of give the power to every department, to whoever's running that project, to be able to just go in there, select a drop-down box that went from adopted to not adopted. Here's the information, save, close, done. It's not a huge process as static maps and just PDFs on a map. So we can keep it more up to date much quicker.
Yeah, we want to emphasize the importance of keeping it up to date. We would almost rather not put out data than to put out incorrect or old data.
So I noticed also, Garrett, on the front page, when you very first started, at the top it showed strategic planning.
Right here.
So we've moved our strategic plan here as well.
So what's super nice about this, because this is a GIS program, and but what's very nice that we don't have to only use geospatial data. Like we don't have to. We can link off to finance. They can put their financial transparency center completely off to the side, whatever. But we can put these ribbons in here that will go to that information. So maybe you don't have to go to 5 different clicks to go find the portion of the website that says Financial Transparency Center. I think the more places, I guess, you have it, the better, because I know we have buttons on the website, but if you can't remember a link, we can get to anything. So they can maintain it on their website, but we can put it in here and send them to the right direction.
Okay.
So if you're like, go to the website, and then you're trying to find the strategic plan. If that's under finance, future planning, strategic plan, couple of clicks, or if you just need to remember it, just go here. It's on the website. Go to the
data
exactly
hub. It's right there.
It will send you exactly to what it says right here. So we're trying to keep it simple. One website, click here, go to where you need to go.
So we get this up and running in July.
Right.
And our residents and especially council and staff are going to be playing around with this. How do we request functionality on this particular website? Is there an email at the bottom that says, or do we want comments on social media.
There we go. So
GIS@cityofcorinth.com.
you email us. You are always welcome to come stop by my office, and then let's talk through a project. If a resident would like to see something focused that they're passionate about, that they'd like to see on this website, they can just email us and we'll work with them.
And please do, because like I said, we're narrowly focused and we don't have the whole picture that people, residents would have. So we're always open to ideas of new data that we can present on this
Absolutely.
site.
Give the people what they want. If they want something, we are at a point where we can do that.
So what precisely is going to be rolled out in July? It's going to be the website that you've shown. So what functionality is currently built into it?
Wonderful question. So pretty much right now, I would say it's almost an alpha. We're going to go through, we're doing a lot of cleanup. So the way that it looks now is going to look very similar to how it looks in July.
Okay.
We're just going to go in each of the departments, because we've created the apps, and then the departments are going to go in there and start updating the data. So, we've created all the GIS information. We've set up their projects. The goal from now to then is to get it where it's up to date. So it's really just the inputting the attribute data, getting the projects where they are, getting them up to date. So when you're scrolling through here, you're going to have your links to your financial transparency, strategic plan. I think we may have 2 or 3 more apps come around in July. I have a couple of more ideas.
Garrett, Shay, thank you so much for providing this information. Shay, especially thank you for your presentation last night. In our workshop session, I encourage everybody to be able to come, especially during budget season, because we get to hear kind of the annual recap and where we're at on our strategic plan. Garrett, it was a pleasure.
Oh,
you are a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of energy. I can't wait to be on more podcasts with you in the future.
thank you. I appreciate it. I get very excited about this stuff, and it is. I thank you. I say thank you to you guys too, because it was so much support. It makes this possible.
Sure.
It's very
and
exciting.
by the way, it's your excitement that a lot of times is secret sauce into making sure these things see themselves through. For everybody else that's been watching, want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Let's Talk Corinth. There are 3 things that I want you to walk away with. The first is you can find this link. It will be a button on the cityofcorinth.com website. Also, the specific link will be cityofcorinth.com/data hub. And also, we will get a button on the My Corinth app so that you will be able to find this information anywhere you want. The links will be posted in the YouTube video. And as always, if you have suggestions for information you want to see on the Data Hub or suggestions for future podcasts, please let us know in the comments below. Until then, let's talk Corinth.